here is the policy. This is also on the intranet. Okay, so without looking at your handouts, what is a critical / unusual incident? Give me an example of a critical incident.
Well, last time I wrote one, I found out a client had been found dead.
Okay, that is actually even a higher level. What is that called?
Sentinel.
A sentinel event. If there's a death involved, and it doesn't mean that we're involved in the death, but if we have a client and there is death or some kind of medical emergency, or what else? What else is considered sentinel? Overdose, yes. Suicide, yes. What else?
Anything that leads to a death or could lead to a death.
Anything that leads to death or could lead to death? What about arrests?
I hope that doesn't fall under it because I missed a lot of reports.
Well, what about criminal activities?
So, when you say, because I'm asking this because there is a client that is on the roster for ERS group, and I saw in the paper probably a week or so ago that he had charges filed on him for embezzlement. So,
Okay, let me read you what it says. A sentinel event is a type of critical incident that is unexpected occurrence involving the death or serious physical or psychological. So it's not just physical, but also psychological injuries to a consumer. And that includes limited, but not limited to suicide, homicide, criminal activities, assault, and other forms of violence, including death. How would you guys interpret that? Not necessarily that they committed the crime. It sounds like that if they were a victim of a crime.
I would say
Or an
serious
assault.
psychological injury is something that is likely to cause irreparable psychological harm, like a rape or possibly a robbery, violent robbery.
It also says that if he's been he or she's been sexually assaulted, that's also considered a sentinel event. And how quickly do we have to report this to the Department of Mental Health? Within 24 hours, right? That is only for the sentinel events. What about just a normal critical incident that has nothing to do with death, psychological harm?
Wouldn't it be if they were, like if it was a group, and a person was unruly and you couldn't get him or her to
That would be a critical incident,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, that's not in the norm of.
And it evolves until you have to get outside help to come in, like the police.
Like the lady that you had to come down, you and Dan.
Yeah, and we have those pretty frequently, by the way.
That
I
was
mean,
Yeah,
you'll have one of those every other month at the least.
right. Those do need to be done quickly, but they don't have to be faxed to the Department of Mental Health. It's just the sentinel events that, let's wait till everyone's ready. Okay, so sentinel events have to be faxed to the DMH provider cert. And you've got to get that to your supervisor, who will get it to the associate director. The associate director will brief me on that as well. Let's see if there's anything else in here. That's kind of a trick question, I think. In fact, the one that Steve, you did a report on, they have questions about.
We did.
Yeah, I forwarded it to John, but
Why?
When did you report it, Tony?
This morning. Yeah, so.
They always have questions on those documents.
Well, it was, you'll see, it's interesting. Here is the critical incident, report. Oh, I had these guys. The reason I didn't have them on the table is because I wanted to hand them out. So, anyway, so now we have double, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it down.